SEMO head coach Tom Matukewicz, Redhawks up to number 8 in both top 25 polls. That's the second highest ranking in school history. They're coming off a 34-3 win against Tennessee Tech. They're going to be on the road this week. First ever matchup with Charleston Southern. So, Coach, some thoughts on your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, I think played well. Obviously, we turned it over 3 times, but we got 3 takeaways, so those are a concern. And then just the penalty stuff. I might be one of the worst penalty coaches in the United States of America. So, we're going to just keep trying to get better. Excited about this trip. We haven't won a playing game since I've been a head coach here, so hopefully we can get that done. Fly out to South Carolina and take on a quality opponent.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach. We got some questions. Jake, you're up first.
Coach, you mentioned worst penalized coaching staff in the United States of America. Why do you say that, and how do you motivate your guys to stay focused and stay disciplined?
Yeah, I mean, just statistically, if you look at us on a piece of paper, that's the thing that jumps out. But since I've been here in 11 years, I bet we've led the OVC in penalties and a lot of things. I mean, the least penalized team in the league's EIU. Well, we don't want to be them, right? And their record. So it's not like, hey, the goal here is to not make penalties, because that doesn't necessarily convert to wins, right? It's just the dumb penalties. We've had a lot of injuries, and so we've had newcomers come in, and then all of a sudden it's like their first game, so they're kind of making first game mistakes with false starts and those type of things. But we just got to keep getting after it, and hopefully we get it better.
Because you guys practice this every day, especially false start on the offensive line, offsides, and because you practice it every day, can you make the case it's inexcusable?
No, I mean, this is a hard game, right? You gotta, to execute while somebody's trying to punch you in the face. There's sometimes things happen, right? So I'm not going to sit there. I don't think they're on purpose. I don't think there's necessarily, it's just skill building. It's just, trying to put them in those positions and build the skills and get it better.
I know you spoke a little bit last week about Paxton, but now that he leads your program and program history and touchdown passes and in yards, he just keeps continuing to collect these records. Have you had a chance to maybe sit back and realize how maybe privileged your staff is as a coach to have a guy who can perform at such a high level week in and week out?
Yeah, I think everybody, from administrations to fans to everybody, really appreciate the value that Paxton creates for our team, for our university, in our region. To have that caliber of a player, especially at the quarterback position, is rare. And so, just very thankful for him. Happy that he's been coachable and has improved in a lot of areas also.
Where would you say he made his biggest jump in improvement? In what category? Is it off the field? Is it on the field? Is it mental? Is it arm strength? Is there something you saw that stands out to you?
Yeah, leadership.
And it's funny you mentioned that. I know he was at your leadership summit last year in Sykeston. Do you feel maybe that event helped him maybe get to where he is today?
I don't know. I just think it's all of it, and it's not like a light switch. It's kind of a gradual thing. But I would say, and I don't want to speak for him, but I would say him going down to that Manning Passing Academy probably helped him leadership more than anything. It's one thing to hear it, it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another to see leaders lead. These are some of the best quarterbacks in the country, best leaders in America. And so getting a firsthand look at how they interact with people, how they create influence with those they lead, I would say probably helped them as big as anything.
And I know you mentioned a minute ago about your team's excitement to play somebody guys don't really know about. You can get on the plane and everything. What's it like playing, an opponent that you don't get to see every year? And is it harder to game plan when you're just going off of the tape?
Yeah, it is. It's fresh though. It's exciting. You know, it's like, hey, what is this? How good is this player? What about this scheme? What's this coach's identity? You know, all those type of things are what keep it fresh and exciting. I've never been to Charleston, South Carolina. Beautiful. We're bringing all of our wives, kind of having a wives trip, turning this into a good experience also for the staff. When I'm watching film, they got palm trees all lined out, so that's a little different.
Thanks for the time, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jake.
I think you can get some palm trees at Houck, Coach.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know.
They probably fall down.
I mean, you lead the conference in offense and defense. I mean, I think maybe your offense gets a little bit more attention because people just look at points, but talk about just in general, you talked the takeaways, but just what your defense has done the last couple of weeks and where they are.
Yeah, they've been really consistent, put some really good back-to-back weeks together. They're fighting a lot of injuries. We have 4 starters out in the secondary. And so for them to be able to overcome that a little bit, it says a lot about them. I just, you know, when you get it rolling, there's like this standard, right? On defense, it's like, hey, this is who we are, this is what we're about. And it doesn't matter the opponent, it doesn't matter if it's practice, but like they have that standard from a mentality standpoint. Like it doesn't matter the score, it does, like they're not going to let running backs finish with their helmet forward. They're not going to you know, give up deep balls, all these type of things that they just have a lot of pride in. And I think that's what Coach Kuhn and his staff and the players have really done is created identity on defense where there's a standard of excellence that we expect and they hold each other accountable to it.
I want to ask you a little more about Charleston Southern. Their punter is the top punter in the FCS right now. I don't know if he stood out on film, just how he can flip the field on somebody really easily.
Yeah, he's got a great leg. They also do a good job scheme around him. One of the hardest things is they move the pocket. You don't really know what's coming, and he'll spray the ball a little bit. And so we got a real challenge for us. I think we're a pretty good punt block unit, and so it should be fun to just see how that unfolds.
And then their running back had a huge game a couple weeks ago, and then they sort of have a 1-2 punch at running. Just what you've seen there from them on their rushing.
Yeah, Ford's probably one of the better backs in the league. Really like how he runs. They're committed to the run. They play hard. They're try to be physical. You know, those type of things that most good run teams do. You know, if it's 3rd and 1 or 2, we'll be in trouble. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure that we held up against the run. And if you can get them in 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 9s, you're going to have a great day. And so, you know, defensive fronts definitely got their work cut out for them.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck on the road trip this weekend. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
All right. Thanks, Kyle.